All right. So here we go. We're going to get into our tight end tiers. Basically, we have tier 1. These are the most elite players. Tier 6, not even sure if they're worth keeping on my roster. That's basically how we're doing it. Tier 1, tippy top. Tier 6, not sure they're even worth rostering. Real quick, as we get into that, Nick, tied for first, no buys in the playoffs. With buys, I have Rico at running back. I have McBride in a 1.5 tight end premium. I also have Muth. Is it worth trading Muth for a running back or just likely take the L? You want to keep that buy. Or you're saying, sorry, no bye weeks for you guys, but there's bye weeks. Got it. Okay, I was thinking no NFL buys, and I was like, of course it's week 14, but that makes more sense. If there's no buys, it doesn't bother me as much, but it depends on the running back. If you can get a solid running back, I'm fine with it. Do I think the tight end from Penn State, Warren's a pretty good tight end. I don't think he's on the same level as Colston Loveland, but I do like him quite a bit. All right. Like I said, top tier here in our tiers list. We've got the top tier, and that one is guys that are just special, just absolutely special. Stop seeing this ad. I don't care. I don't care. Thanks for not showing that to me again. All right. First one here, we've got Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews in this one. Why is this already hard? Like, why is this already difficult? I feel like it should not be this hard already. I guess tier 2? I don't know. Yeah, it's either going to be tier 2 or tier 3. He's kind of right on the cusp of those two for me. Maybe I'll move him as we go because he's still not old or ancient or anything like that. But the problem is, we'll get to it. I'm going to leave him here for now. Oh, this is a great thought here. Have I thought about rebranding to Dynasty Stud Muffins? It's true. Everyone does love muffins, but do they love them as much as they love cupcakes? Don't know that they do. Rice to Tony, are you maybe holding on to the past a little? Maybe, but since week 4, he's been pretty decent. Peter, off topic, so if you want to skip, that's fine, but I just got offered Pittman and a 5th for Lloyd and a 2nd. My team is geared for next year, sitting at 7-4 somehow. I'm still taking Pittman there. I get that he hasn't been great, but yeah. Dynasty Cooper Cupcake. Look at the branding here. Look at the branding. There's a reality where the Ravens cut Andrews this offseason. Would free up cap space, likely re-sign, could. That's absolutely in the realm of possibility. Trying to go back, but also want to keep my window open. Trade away McLaurin, Kelce, 4 seconds for Puka and Muth. Am I stupid? If you were trying to go back to back, I don't love that move. But it sounds like you're focusing on potentially still having assets for the future. So I don't hate it. It's not my favorite, but I don't hate it. Hey, look at this. Appreciate you, man. This is a week of Thanksgiving, and I am thankful for you. I appreciate that. All right, let's keep it going. Daniel Bellinger, we got to put him in tier 6. I'm not even sure he's the starter right now. I think it's more Theo Johnson, and going forward, it's going to be him. Brock Bowers, this one's easy. Easy. We put him up here. Dorsett, I'm going to put him a little bit above Daniel Bellinger, not by a lot. Not by a lot, but I am going to put him above Daniel Bellinger. Evan Ingram. See this is what I'm wrestling with, everybody. Here's what I'm wrestling with. I know tier 1 is going to be small. How small should tier 2 be? That's really what I'm wrestling with. How small should tier 2 be? I agree, Taylor. I would have Ingram probably over Andrews at this point. All right, we're going to make this small at this point. We're going to have a big tier 3, but we're going to have a small top couple tiers. Small top couple tiers. Let's see. Need help on buy apocalypse. Should I drop Deontay for Coker or play Deontay? I would drop him for Coker. I really would. With Ingram on a bye and Ferguson likely not playing, who should I pick up? Schoonmaker or start Muth? I would start Muth tonight. They're probably not throwing it down the field as much in bad weather. All right, let's keep it going. I'm gonna leave this nice comment up. I'm just gonna leave this up because it makes me happy. I'm just gonna leave that up for a little while. All right. Here we go. Fant. I think he's more tier 5 for me at this point. I think he's more tier 5 for me. Ferguson, I'm going to put at the top of tier 4. Top of tier 4 right now. Let's see. Chiggy, oi, oi. Happy week of Thanksgiving. Dan, thank you so much. Appreciate you, my guy. Autosave says tier 2 should be very small and move Andrews down to 3. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards too, my guy. Kind of what I'm leaning towards as well. Country time. Hurts, Purdy, Watson, Winston, running backs. We've got Saquon, Breece, Jacobs, B-Rob, Najee, Dobbins, wide receivers, Puka, Pickens, T, DJ Moore, Evans, Amari, tight end, Hawk, and Muth. I don't know what that's going back to the trade above. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Next one here, Muth. I feel like Muth goes in tier 4 as well. I think tell me so far. I don't think anybody should have any major issues. Steve, appreciating all the shorts. Thank you, man. We've been working really hard to get all kinds of stuff out there. Peter Bartowski's done a great job with all the shorts on YouTube, TikTok. If you're not following us on TikTok, we are crushing TikTok right now. Crushing TikTok. Even my guy Taylor Christensen's in here chatting with us. He does a start sit on Sundays, live start sit. So if you have some start sit questions, I think he's a good guy to maybe tap into on Sunday mornings. I think he starts at 11. And I'm basically going Tuesday through Fridays doing a live on there. So Rice Tony's clapping. He's proud of me. Dan thinks it looks good. Christian thinks it looks good. Or Christensen. Taylor Christensen. Going to 12:30. You're doing an hour and a half? That's bold. That's bold. After like 45 minutes. I mean, it's like drinking out of a fire hose doing that. We get like hundreds and hundreds of questions, bordering on thousands of questions. So that's a long time. It's a long time. Dallas Goedert, I think, is also a tier 4 guy. I think he's also a tier 4 guy. And at this point, I think so is Hunter Henry. Like every year, I kind of want to just forget about him and move on. And every year, he just keeps coming back. Just keeps coming back every year. Figures out a way to be relevant one way or another. So I think he's going to be 4 for me. Man, no, he's not tier 3. There's no way I would ever trade either one of these guys for Hunter Henry. No way. And I wouldn't. I'd rather have Jake Ferguson. I cannot put him in tier 3. No way. I get it. May loves him. He's true. It is true. But there's a lot of quarterbacks that love their tight ends. That doesn't mean they get to skyrocket. All right. This is Dynasty, though. This is Dynasty. Rest of season, no way. Rest of season, Jordan, I totally agree with you. But Dynasty-wise, we know both guys are back next year. So I feel okay with him there. TJ Hockenson, TJ's got to go in tier 3. I know he had a really, really disappointing game this past week, but better days are ahead. I assume he's going to get it figured out with Darnold and then eventually with JJ McCarthy as well. Theo Johnson, I guess at the top of tier 5 or at the bottom of tier 4. I'm leaning top of tier 5, but he's young. Greg Dulcich in tier 5, and no, I do not think he should be higher. Yeah, maybe he shouldn't even be there. Maybe he should be tier 6. I do expect that offense to maybe get a tight end this year. Wouldn't be surprised me if Warren or Colston Loveland end up going there. All right, let's keep it going. Jatavian Sanders, I think also belongs in this tier. Travis Kelce. Dynasty-wise, I think he's got to go in tier 4. He's just too old to put in tier 3 anymore. In a startup draft, like I get it if you're going for a contender. Like a contender mode looks very different. But I'm looking at this more as like if I had to draft today, where would I draft these guys? And I think it's probably in this Ferguson, Freiermuth, Goedert. Like that's the kind of range. All right. Yeah. Steve's with me on this. Taylor says tier 2 for contenders. I would agree with that. Jacob, very interested to see what you do with Kraft and Musgrave. Yeah, I had higher hopes too. And he looked good. He looked good the first few weeks. And then things came crashing down. Speaking of high hopes, I mean, right now we've got to put Kincaid here. And honestly, he's closer to tier 4 than he is tier 2, which is sad. And I know Rich Dotson's husband felt great about him. It just it's tough. It's tough. All right. George Kittle, 31 years old. But man, is he playing well. He's definitely in tier 3 for me. I think there's an argument to be made that he's tier 2. Like, I think there's an argument. Like, I'm not moving him lower than the top of this tier. I think there's an argument to be made, especially if they end up getting rid of Debo. But the 31 years old and then him just falling off a cliff at some point is very real. The way he plays, he's always banged up. He's always injured. I don't know. I don't know where to put him. Taylor says if you have tier 3, you want to trade for Kittle. If you have him, you don't want to drop to tier 3. Yep. I think that's fair. Man. You'd rather him than the tier 3. All right, I'm going to leave him in tier 2 for now. But man, that feels like a very scary, a very risky tier 2. 31 years old and injury history. I get that, Jordan. I'm with you. This is scaring me. Oh man, the inner turmoil. I got to move him down one. I got to move him down. I can't do it because when I get to the tier 2 guys, I don't think I would ever trade them or draft them in the same spot that I would draft the other tier 2 players that I would put up there. Little Caesars will keep him healthy. That's a fair point. Tier 3 guy, tier 2 is only McBride for me, and you could argue LaPorta, but I'm low on him. Kelce has value in a redraft, but shaky at best in Dynasty. I get you. Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet's a very solid, like, somewhere in here guy. Although, I will say, I might be getting back on the Cole Kmet train. I might be getting back on that train after this year. Because we've seen flashes this year, 2 24-point games. So we've seen flashes out of him. I think Keenan Allen is gone, which is they run routes in the similar area. I think if Caleb improves, which at this point is scary. But I don't know. These are all the thoughts in my head. But I think I would be on him. I think I'd be moving him up in the off season. He's probably like, if I'm weak at tight end, he's probably a guy that I'm targeting. All right, we're to LaPorta. Guys, he's just been way too inconsistent for me this year. He's got to go like somewhere in here. I know Rich should be around. He really should. This is his position. Just joining now, but is Hawk on tier 3 due to injury? It's partly due to injury. It's partly due to we don't know what he's going to be like with Darnold. It's been a very mixed bag in his first 3 games back. And he was up there because of Kirk Cousins. Is he still going to be up there with JJ McCarthy? I don't know. All right, let's keep it going. Isaiah Likely. I don't think I can put Likely in tier 3, although there's a chance that he elevates himself this offseason if something were to happen to Andrews. So I think he goes into tier 4 for me right now. Think so. Quote of the day. If Rich were here, wouldn't everybody be tier 1? All the tight ends. All the tight ends are tier 1. I love it. That's amazing. Let's see. Mayer's gonna go like here ish. Right around here. Kittle 2.5. Yeah, that feels right. I wish there was a 2.5 for Kittle. All right. So right now, guys, he's the only one in tier 2. He's the only one there. There's a few other guys that might be able to catch him in there, but right now, for me, that's it. I think that's it. I think he's all by himself. I think we have a tier 1 with one player, and I think we have a tier 2 with one player. And then we start talking about everybody else. Alexander, I think in a real league, the Ingram owner is willing to add on to get LaPorta. Maybe. I think LaPorta's more on projection, though, and Ingram just continues to get funnel targets. He just gets so many targets that LaPorta just doesn't get. But I'm fine. Like, if we want to be picky, I'm totally fine doing like even this. I have no issue with that. All right, here we go. Luke Musgrave. Musgrave, I think is here. I think he's here. I think this is Kraft. LaPorta value is closer to McBride than Kittle. I would agree with his value might be there. But where would I draft him? Like he's just too inconsistent in this offense. I would not draft him above George Kittle if I had to draft today. I wouldn't. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Yeah, couldn't do it. David Njoku, I think he goes at the end of this tier here, right around McBride. You want to put him a spot ahead, or not McBride, Kincaid. Spot ahead, spot behind. Peter, any fear that Bowers has a Pitts-like fall off? I'm not too worried about that. Yes, obviously, Pitts has gone from like savior at tight end to he's like a boom bust play. Like sometimes he has big games, but he often has these 5-point games, and he's just really, really frustrating. Dan, he said, as a Packers fan, even I would say Luke Musgrave is tier 5. Chigo Conquo, I think Chig is probably another one of these tier 5 kind of guys. Don't think he really belongs much higher than that. Otten's tough. Otten like tried to like he's one of those guys that if he was trying to go to a club, like he was trying to sneak into like the tier 3 club. But I think most people are kind of hip to it and just said like it was because Chris Godwin and Mike Evans were out. It's cool that you showed that it's possible for you, but until that situation changes, like I don't know. Pitts is a pretty easy tier 3 for me. I think he like, and you can put him almost anywhere in this range. Like I'll probably put him right here. Yeah. I had trouble reading it. Meant to say put Musgrave on the bottom, so tier 6. He wants him all the way down. All the way down. Otten went crazy in the playoffs. LaPorta went second in my start of the summer in tight end premium. Oh my goodness. Second. Somebody loves them some tight ends. Dalton Schultz, king of the fours. Not king of the fours. He's actually like at the end of the fours. But he can't go in tier 5. He's been very solid. He's been very solid. Daniel, have Bowers and Pitts. Superflex, half PPR, no tight end premium. Should I even think of selling Bowers? I wouldn't unless you get the most ridiculous King's ransom. Any player is available. Any player is available for the right price. But I wouldn't sell him. Yeah, I don't. This was a preloaded one. I made sure to add Eric All and Jonnu Smith in. I didn't get a chance to do Conklin. Conklin would be like somewhere between he'd probably be tier 5. Probably where he would be. Ben Sinnott, I have high hopes for this kid. I think he could end up being in this tier sometime soon, but we'll just have to wait and see. Like we're just gonna have to wait and see, honestly. Someone took Njoku in the second round. They forgot Joe Flacco wasn't throwing the ball anymore. For what it's worth, I'd be fine with Bowers in the first. In tight end premium, I know Rich and Matt are there as well. I'm not quite there. I think I have him like 18 or 19 in tight end premium, but I get it. Cade Stover, where would he be? He would probably be at this tier 5 as well. Guys that kind of have some upside hope. Thoughts on Will Disley? He showed a little bit, but he would probably be tier 6, honestly. Probably be tier 6. Would you sell Hawken or rebuild? If you have Bowers, and somebody's willing to pay a fair price, I have no problem moving on from him. Tucker Kraft. I like Tucker Kraft a lot. I'm willing to put him in tier 3 here. He had a nice consistent stretch. I know like the past few weeks have been a little bit more inconsistent, but he had a nice consistent stretch. I like what I see out of him, and I think it's his show. I think Musgrave lost his opportunity. All right, Jelani Woods or Mo Alley Cox, one of them. I don't remember which one this is. He's going to go there in tier 6. Eric All. I'm excited about this kid too. He's still a tier 5, but he's going with like Ben Sinnott or Sinat. And like, I'm interested to see if there's some upward movement for both of these kids. And then last but not least, got Mr. Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith's done enough for me that he's entered tier 4. He's entered tier 4. I'm excited about him. I'm excited about what he's done lately. Do I think there is long-term success to this? No, probably not. But I think rest of the season he's going to be really fun. So tight end tiers, here it is, guys. Only one player in tier 1. Only one player in tier 2. Huge tier 3, huge tier 4, huge tier 5, small tier 6. This goes back to something that I was kind of saying on the Dynasty Nerds podcast about a month ago when we were talking about tight ends. I said, yes, the names are more exciting than maybe we've had in a very long time. But have we just gotten to the new Travis Kelce at the top and then Zach Ertz right below him? And then maybe there's one other guy that rises up, but for the most part, just not really interested. Yeah. Like the difference even between the tier 3 and tier 4 for some of these players is razor thin. Like if I can get a huge plus, maybe not even a solid plus to get like go from Mark Andrews to Jake Ferguson. Yep. I'll do it. Taylor says tier 3 seems to outscore old tier 3s. Maybe, but I think these guys would have been considered maybe tier 2. And honestly, Taylor, I don't know if they are outscoring outside of like, yes, the old guys. Because if this was redraft, like he's higher. Like we're moving some of these guys up if it's redraft. But I mean, the points are pretty rough. Let's look at it right now. No, wrong website. Fantasy Pros. Okay, so let's look at the tight end position in PPR leagues. Okay. Right now, I'm going to switch my view. Share this tab instead. All right. So in 2024, we've got these top couple guys, right? Top couple guys. Then after that, here's our tier 2 guy, 12.9. Njoku 12.4, 12.3, 11.6, 10.8, 10.2, 10.2. Once you get to the 9th rated player, we're not even in the 10s anymore. Right? Go to 2023. Very similar from last year. 10.4. Although we've got a little more at the top, but still same type of idea. 2022. A little bit better. We had a ridiculous season from Travis Kelce that year. A couple guys. We were only at 5 guys. Oh wait, I forgot to sort it. So yeah, we're at 8. So one off, and this guy's at 9.9. So pretty similar. 2021. 2021 was actually a pretty good year at tight end. We had 13 guys score over 10 points per game. So I just don't think we're in that much of a better spot. And yeah, Connor, I agree. I think the popularity of tight end premium has tricked us into thinking that these non-elite tight ends are that valuable. They're not. They're just not. The points per game difference is marginal at best. When we're looking, Bowers and Kittle have been elite this season. Outside of that, on a points per game basis, tight end 7, Cade Otton. He's at 11.6. Like 8, 10.8. 10.8, 8.8. We've got 8 spots and only 2 points difference. Like, and they're just not scoring high enough points for that to just really matter. Are these guys scoring aligned with the ones we expected? Because maybe our accuracy of picking tier 3 is better. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Let's go back to like 21. That was a really good tight end year. Like, people were pretty high on Waller. People were pretty high on Goedert. People, like, these aren't necessarily super surprising names. Maybe Logan Thomas was at that point. Kyle Pitts was a high-end guy. So, yeah, I just don't think there's much of a difference, honestly. I think we want to make these lower tier tight ends seem better than they really are. Yeah, maybe there's one or two. Maybe there's a few. But, like, for the most part, it's, that would still put us right back to 10, even if there was a few of them that were a surprise. So I think we're just kind of in the same spot we've always been. We just thought it was going to be different. Whoops, switched to the wrong thing. McBride's points per game, like, even he's not been special. He's just been very steady. And I think that's what's made him appealing. He's at 11.9 points or 12.9 points per game. But he only has 2 games under 10 points. So that's, I think, the thing that's really appealing with him is he's just been so consistent. So consistent. Great list. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Always fun doing these shows. Always fun hanging out with you guys. Obviously, this one's a little bit shorter than some of the others, just because a lot less. Taylor's like, this is about to become an article. There we go. I love it. A lot less players to go through. So appreciate you guys. I'm going to head out of here. Still got a lot of stuff to get done today. But I always appreciate you guys coming in here and hanging out with me. Have a great rest of your day.